Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Said, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's go, chat. How y'all feeling tonight, man? I'm feeling good. Listen, I had a few issues with my setting up the audio tonight for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's that time of the month for the updates and stuff. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in again tonight. Listen, call in show, man. College football, man. We talking all college football. Y'all know when I come with the black on, that means we neutral. We neutral. We trying to talk to some of everybody, because Alabama ain't the only team that did something big or had something big happen to them, boss. But this weekend, man, I'm telling y'all, this weekend coming up, another entertaining college football weekend once again, y'all. In for another treat. You know, week 5 kind of popped it off for me this season. We want to, if we go back and look at some of the matchups from week 5, you'll see what I'm talking about, man. Jay on top, appreciate you for tapping in on TikTok, man, and everybody else tapping in. Dwayne Jr., Russell McDaniel, continue to tap that screen. Everybody tapping in on YouTube. Thank y'all for tapping in. Remember, jump in this live stream, hit the like button, man. Today, y'all hit another goal, man, and now we done amped it up, man. We done amped it up. They raised the bar for our analytics. I guess we've been hitting our goals too frequently, so yeah. But a lot of topics to talk about, man. What's up, Coach? What's good, man? Who is that? Glenn? What's good to see you, Glenn? Good to see you. Yeah, James Franklin out, man. They said, hey, 12 years of this BS is out. You're done, son. You're done. You're done. You can't win the big ones. And he got put on up out of that, man. But yeah, James Franklin going. What up, Sully? Good to see you. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide, Zach, Sully, G, Dwayne, what's good? What up, Jordan? Melvin in the building. Glenn, yep, I see y'all. Okay. They said Norvell is on the way out. I don't know, man. I don't know. They got, Norvell came into a crap fire, and it was lit up with a gasoline, what is it? Accelerant.
That's what happened with Florida State. But you got to think, man. November 1, he beat us at the beginning of the season. They can still. What's the funny thing is they can still turn the season around, right, and still be a team that makes the playoffs. They could be the third team out of the ACC. How many teams y'all see making it out the SEC? Truly, after we get done beating up on each other this month of October, how many teams are really going to come out of this month alone? And then don't forget the big games, all your rivalry games and conference matchups that decide kind of the fate of each team's destination happens in November. So it's going to be a tough sled. How many teams do we see in the college football playoff? We'll talk about that tonight. We'll go over the top 25. We're actually going to make our own top 25. Shout out to Hall of Fame Jason, man. He's been trying to get me to do this thing for like weeks now. I never find time to do it, but I figured I'd just start coming on the show on Sundays. We'll start doing our top 25 Sundays or Saturdays after show. We'll start doing the top 25, and we'll bring the whole layout up and let y'all see how it looks when we picking these numbers. So, and we'll make our own top 25 here at the Coach Smook Network for the AAA family. And just a quick announcement, y'all. We had a great time collabing with Alabama at the Voice of College Football, but we have shifted our endeavors to focusing on another opportunity, y'all. If y'all haven't noticed, like our call-in shows have been really like, we've been making sure we've been on top of those because we're trying to do something special, and we have an opportunity that we're taking advantage of. So the more you all show up and show attention towards these call-in shows, our lives here, that's why the demand for presence has been so much more intentional and been a lot more locked in here. Nothing against what they got going on over there, but we still go over there. We check out the lives and stuff and support. But if you haven't noticed, I haven't had time really to be over there. We just got a lot of moving parts here at the Coach Smook Network, and we'll collab when the opportunities become available. But for the time being, we got a lot of stuff happening over here, and a lot of people requesting to show up on the Coach Smook Network. So we definitely want to take advantage of it with all the collaborations, and we don't want to put our growth aside for someone else's brand or anything anymore. But we almost made that mistake one time. We're not going to do it again. And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying we're just taking another step. I'm still going to collab with those guys, Jackson, Jeffrey. Those are my little bros, man. Hopefully Caden don't pick on them too much now that I'm not going to be over there as frequently, but we got a lot, a few more things on the agenda that we're kind of ahead of Alabama at the Voice of College Football. And we're working on becoming that independent brand that we got a certain level of credentials, we move a certain way, so we don't want to be boxed in. We want to continue to tread our own, forge our own path. It's a lot of content creators trying to do exactly what I'm doing, but they will in a lot of those Twitter threads and group messages hating on exactly what I'm doing, and they're trying to do it now. So we're going to continue to forge our own path and do it the organic, authentic way, and we're going to keep going. But my guy said 3 to 4 SEC teams in the college football playoff. I'm gonna have a little conversation about that tonight. I'm gonna open the phone lines up, but I'm gonna talk about that tonight. About I think we might mess around and get 4 or 5 teams in the playoff, the college football playoff. The way that the strength of schedule is supposed to matter this season, the way that the season is panning out. You got teams like Texas A&M, you got teams like Alabama, you got teams like who else has a pretty steady way out? Georgia after this weekend, they have a pretty steady way out as far as conference play, and they're still sitting at 1 loss. It may be 3 teams for sure that could get out of this conference play stretch without playing each other, right? And our head-to-head over Georgia allows us to be the team in over them. But A&M is that team. They look good. You got A&M, Ole Miss goes to Georgia. You'll figure that out. If Georgia can be that team to kind of win that out, Texas A&M and Ole Miss see each other later on in the season. So there's going to be very few blemishes on these records. You're talking about 10-2 records. You have the possibility to have 3 teams at 10-2 in the SEC. You get what I'm saying? After the conference championship weekend. And so we got a lot to talk about tonight, with just how things are matching up. But we're not just talking Bama, man. I want to talk about this past weekend game. I see Georgia fans out here bragging like they just won. They just beat a good Auburn team in their home field. And if you all be honest, man, I seen the picture. I got a Facebook friend. He a diehard Georgia fan. He got his legs too little for his body, but he definitely a Georgia fan, right? And shout out to Roderick Jordan, man. That dude, man. I ain't never liked that group of Georgia fans. Them dudes, They talk so much noise. You would think that Georgia has been dominating Alabama the last 10 years, the way they talk when they got Kirby, and still to this day, to this moment, the Georgia fans can't say that they have beaten Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. Like, it's so funny, but they still talk. But yeah, he was talking about, trying to show the play when they said that Jackson Arnold wasn't on the goal line. I think people forget, like, that ball has to detach from his body or from his hands in order for it to be a loose ball. The only thing it has to do is touch. It doesn't have to cross. It just has to touch that imaginary vertical line from where the goal line is. And if that's the rule of thumb and that's the way that you're supposed to evaluate it, Auburn should have had some points on that. So we'll get into that this evening. And some of the other big games from this past weekend, but we got a lineup this weekend, y'all. Let me get the phone lines open real quick. Let me get the phone lines open for y'all, because we got a lineup this weekend at ESPN, ABC, all these networks. The viewership gonna be probably record breaking type numbers for a lot of these games this weekend. And shout out to my Falcons, man. They playing the Bills tough right now, but as of course, in true Falcons fashion, man, second half we start to find a way to lose this game. So if I'm looking kind of off in the sunset or whatever, it's because I'm trying to follow the game, man. I'm not gonna lie. I want my Falcons to do better this season. We 2-2 right now. If we can come out of this season 10-6, 9-7, I think that's a good season for us to build on. Penix is going through his sophomore slump. I think he missed out on having some real opportunities last year that stunted his growth. But this the NFL, man. So let's look at the college football schedule for this weekend as we jump into the show. And remember, tonight is a call-in show. So here in about 15 minutes, we're going to open the phone lines, and you can call in, talk about any game, and just be Bama talk. You can talk about anything. We'll talk about our rankings. Let's talk about the rankings right now. Mary J, let's do our top 25 breakdown and why we feel like these teams deserve to be in the top 25 if they got it right. AP, did they get it right or get it wrong? Right? Let's talk about it. 1 through 5. I don't have no issues with it. As a matter of fact, I think that the way that they did it is a lot more fair than what we've seen in the past. 1 through 5. Ohio State, Miami, 1 and 2. No questions there. Ohio State, Miami, 1 and 2. Number 3, Indiana. A lot of people had questions going into that Oregon game until Indiana goes into that game on the road, and they play a physical brand of football, right? They prove all of us wrong. They proved me wrong. I didn't think they were for real. But at the same time, you got some people now saying that Oregon isn't as good as they were. Like, you can't ever give a team just credit for winning a game. So for Indiana going on the road, winning that game in the fashion that they done, I think Indiana deserves number 3. Number 4 and number 5, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. 2 SEC teams that have the same record, and kind of, I think Texas A&M has been a lot more consistent than Ole Miss. If I look at Ole Miss schedule, I look at what they're doing right now and the opponents that they currently have beaten Ole Miss. I don't think they've beaten the caliber opponents, or I don't think they've won games in the same fashion as Texas A&M, and neither team has a real strong strength of schedule right now for opponents beating. Let's look at A&M schedule. I'm gonna get in here and break theirs down real quick, because A&M has Arkansas. They're going into Arkansas, and if you all saw Arkansas play against Tennessee this past weekend, this isn't a 2-4 team, right? They don't play like a 2-4 team. They just so have to be in a conference where everybody is competitive. You literally have lost 2 big games. I mean, come on, Coach Petrino has been on that staff as an advisor for since beginning of the season. But you literally have lost 2 conference games by 1 possession, right? You lost to Memphis. I think the Memphis loss to for Arkansas really kind of put the heat on Coach, right? But you come in and you lose to Notre Dame. That wasn't one that you could have the way that they lost, and we knew that he would be out after that. But now they lose to Tennessee by 1 possession. This isn't a trash team. Right, this isn't a trash team, and they did that on the road against Tennessee, which is going to be a formidable opponent. We see Tennessee this weekend at Alabama. I think that's solid. But you got Arkansas and Texas A&M this weekend. Arkansas hosting this game. This could be tricky for Texas A&M. All right, let me look at Texas A&M schedule real quick. Texas A&M sitting here currently undefeated 6-0. Their big wins coming against Notre Dame, the 1-point win against Notre Dame. Conference opponents, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Florida. So they've started off 3-0 with the only ranked win on that belt is Notre Dame. And we know Notre Dame probably wasn't the caliber of team we expected them to be going into that game. But Texas A&M really showed that some grit there. Notre Dame is still a good team. We were having a conversation with some people in a group chat, some talking heads of college football and sports talk, and the question was brought up: if Notre Dame wins out, do they deserve a spot? If Notre Dame wins out, they're going to be number 12. They're going to be number 11. It's just the nature of the beast. Their 2 losses are literally to 2 ranked opponents, currently ranked opponents, and 2 opponents that are probably going to make the playoffs. You're talking about Miami, Texas A&M. Miami, the hottest team, one of the hottest teams in the country right now, top 3. And then Texas A&M just continue to roll over how they finished last season. So Texas A&M, Ole Miss, I like the way that it matched up. And they do not have to face each other this season. Texas A&M and Ole Miss do not have to face each other. So the collision course to the SEC championship is pretty different this year. Let's look at the rest of the schedule. Let's see. Can I get Ole Miss schedule up real quick? Here we go. Ole Miss right here. We got Ole Miss schedule up. So Ole Miss has to go to Georgia this weekend. Once again, I keep telling y'all this: the SEC is going to be spread out. Undefeated Ole Miss versus 1-loss Georgia at Georgia. You got Texas A&M. You got Texas A&M going into Arkansas undefeated, right? These all could be 1-loss teams by the end of the weekend. And that'll be the last of the undefeateds in the SEC, if I'm not mistaken. Overall record, undefeated, Ole Miss, Texas A&M are the only teams that are left undefeated in the SEC. We can have all 1-loss teams by the end of this weekend. You got your 2 undefeated teams going on the road to play against tough opponents in tough environments. Those are 2 games number 4 and number 5. Those games are going to watch, because I think whichever one wins, they stay put, and whoever loses, Alabama with a win goes ahead of them. Let's talk about the rest of the AP Top 25. And I'm going to pull this graphic up for y'all. I'm over here just talking to y'all, and y'all can't even see the graphic. Shout out to Fox Sports for their AP Top 25 graphic. We're checking it out here. Again, 1 through 5. Ohio State. I keep saying Alabama, y'all. Ohio State, right? You got Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. Number 6, Bama. We kind of talked about that this morning, keeping them right there on the outside looking in. I truly do believe Alabama right now is your best 1-loss team in the country, right? And that's not. You have those conversations. We're not making that up so we could feel better about our current record. I do believe we are the best 1-loss team in the country right now. The way that we've been playing. I look at other 1-loss teams in the top 25. Look at LSU, and how they played. Their offense has not been consistent. Look at Georgia, going into Jordan Hare and barely winning that, needing the refs to win that game. And then we're just talking about conference opponents right now that are 1-loss and not looking as good as Alabama as far as the execution standpoint, nor are they putting up plays or big numbers that make you believe that they can get better, right? That they can return to dominant form. Got another bug in here, y'all. These bugs, man, when the dogs come in the house, these bugs, they come in, they get near the lights, my lights, and then they start flapping. And it looked like a bird in the house, man. I thought it was a bird up there for a second. Don't nobody laugh. That junk ain't funny. I got scared for a hot second. All right, so I look at the rest of these standings, the 1-loss teams that are currently in the top 25. And hold on, let me get this right. Let me get this right, Shot. I got the wrong screens up. Okay, here we go. I look at the other 1-loss teams in the rankings, right? We talked about Oregon. Oregon did not look good against Indiana. They got manhandled at home. The fact that Indiana was in the top 10 is actually keeping Oregon in the top 10 with that loss. You're talking about number 3, number 7 matchup. The good thing for Oregon is they schedule allows them the opportunity to make an impact and move back up in the rankings. And I'm talking about in a sizable manner. They have Rutgers left on this schedule. I mean, not Rutgers. They have USC and they have Wisconsin and Washington who are right on the outside looking in as far as getting rankings and votes. Iowa is still on that schedule too, and they have to go to Iowa, and that's a tough defense. So Oregon is going to have a chance to kind of stay in that top 10. And you continue to go down. You got number 9, Georgia, number 10, LSU. I just don't think those 2 teams offensively have been able to showcase any consistency for me to believe that they should be ranked higher and be considered one of the best 1-loss SEC teams. Now, I understand Tennessee being behind Georgia and LSU being that Georgia has the head-to-head. But if you really want to talk about teams and production, I think Tennessee is better than Georgia right now. Georgia Tech not getting their respect at number 12, man. I don't understand how they can the teams or the way that they've played as far as a body of work. Georgia Tech has looked very solid. Week 1 starting off big matchup against Colorado. I think Colorado came into the season ranked 25, or they was receiving top 25 votes, trying to get in top 25, and they just continued to turn around and no, they didn't come in ranked, but Georgia Tech has continued to show up every game. They play a different brand of ball. They went to Boulder, won that game by 7. And then they come back, they put up almost 60 points against a cupcake opponent. Then Clemson, they handle Clemson and win that one at home by 3. Temple, they handled Temple. Virginia Tech, another physical team in the ACC, they just handled them this past weekend. So Georgia Tech in a good spot. Haynes King in that offense, Brett Key and that staff, they recruiting better. When's the last time we've ever heard about Georgia Tech having to be somebody to watch in recruiting, right? Maybe back to Calvin Johnson when he came to Georgia Tech, but even then they weren't like dominating in recruiting. But Georgia Tech is doing some quality recruiting, and they've been able to get some guys out of the portal to help transition that offense into, away from that traditional option. And they've got some things brewing over there. I'm excited to see what Georgia Tech gonna do, man. It's gonna be a crazy year for them, and I think they'll challenge for the ACC title. Do I think they're better than Miami? Not by any means. Not by any means. I think they can play with Miami. They could be just as physical as Miami. But I don't think they're better than Miami. I think Miami is a legit team. Notre Dame, we just got done talking about Notre Dame. Why are they at 13? Because they have 2 losses to 2 currently top 5 ranked teams. You talk about Miami and Texas A&M, number 2 and number 4 of those teams where their losses came. Notre Dame has not lost to teams that they shouldn't lose to. They haven't been in games where they've been struggling with teams that they should struggle with. Like, I don't get why people are hating on Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame is a legit team, have been for the last 2 seasons. Last year they heard the critics talking about this team is just not physical enough, this, that, and third. Notre Dame has been dealing with injuries since the start of the season, and they still have looked good. They've dominated the opponents they're supposed to win. They covered all their spreads. Boise State made them look kind of sluggish at the beginning, but Arkansas, the game after Arkansas, the way that offense played against Arkansas the week before, you expected them to start off slow. A freshman quarterback. So Notre Dame is still in the runnings. I don't mind them being at 13. I still advocate for them to get in the conference, though. Let's get respectable and get in the conference, man. Somebody say amen on that one. Oklahoma, after the loss to Texas, unranked Texas this weekend, they dropped down to 14. They went from 6 to 14. Do y'all think that Oklahoma should hurt more for that loss? Y'all think they should hurt more? I'm not punishing them because of the players. I'm punishing them because of the coaching. Horrible coaching. We'll talk about that. I had some Oklahoma fans from Jason Channel mad. Jimmy Satterfield blocking me in the chat. Yeah, over in Jason's chat, y'all, because I went over there and called the coach stupid for playing that quarterback. You got Michael Hawkins on the bench, man. You got just as much good a chance to win against Texas and that trash defense with Michael Hawkins than you did with a healthy John Mateer. Like, you could win with Michael Hawkins. I don't know what Coach BV would say. BYU at 15. I don't like BYU at 15. I think BYU should be right there at 2021. This is a team consistently year in and year out that gets by because they play these weak matchups early in their season. They have played no one up to date. They haven't played anyone close to being ranked, right? Colorado was the only team preseason on their schedule in the first 6 games that was ranked. But they got a matchup against number 22 Utah this weekend, and I think Utah is for real, that defense, and Utah's not a top 15 team. I think their defense is for real, and with Utah's defense and their offense starting to kind of find something, BYU might be in trouble. I know they're at home. I know Utah ain't no explosive offense, but that defense is physical. I don't think BYU's for real, and maybe I get proven wrong again this weekend. I just don't think they've been playing a brand of football that says we're one of the top 15 teams in the country right now. Maybe 21, maybe 22, but they definitely not top 15. Then they got Texas Tech later on, 2 weeks from now. I think BYU loses that one. Texas Tech actually looks good. Them at 7 is no surprise. Texas Tech, they spent their money well. Talking about, spending the money and breaking the bank. They did the good job doing that. Mizzou, after a loss to Alabama, being undefeated previously, I think that's fair for them to be a 6-team. Same thing with Vandy. That matchup in a few weeks, I think, is not this weekend. It's the following weekend. In 2 weeks, Missouri and Vandy. That's gonna be one to watch. I think that one might hit like the make the top 5 games to watch for the Coach Smook Network when we jump into our kickoff show that weekend. I think that's gonna be a good one, man. Yeah, Missouri and Vanderbilt. next week, not this weekend, but next week. Vanderbilt actually has LSU and then Missouri, and they get to host both of those teams. So that's going to be intriguing to see how this shapes out in the SEC. Talking about 2 1-loss SEC teams, 3 1-loss SEC teams seeing each other back to back. That's the thing, man. The SEC, every week you got to be ready. You got to be ready. Looking at the rest of the rankings, y'all, I'm kind of just skim through the bottom half of this. UVA, USF, USC. USC surprising us with that win this past weekend. USC getting that win over Michigan, surprising a lot of the voters, right? This is a 1-loss team. Their only loss coming to Illinois, and they won by 2 on the. They lost by 2 on the road to Illinois. A solid Illinois team, not the best Illinois team, but a solid Illinois team. They lost by 2 in that game. Some crazy officiating in the game. After I go back and look at the highlights of that game, some crazy officiating in some of the calls. Anytime you go to a highlight or synopsis or one of those short film versions of a game, you know, and they highlight a call, a turnover, or a flag or something, you know, it's a game changing moment. And shout out to Wheels on YouTube, man. He does a good job of getting all those key moments in those games. If you ever missed a Bama game, go to Wheels on YouTube and watch his games. They're usually anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes long as far as those chopped up versions of the games, those highlight games, and they keep you in the know as far as what you can kind of gauge on how the game went based off how he edits. I appreciate him for doing what he do. But yeah, USC surprising us with that, and then also you got to think USC has Notre Dame on the schedule too. If USC is the team that can knock Notre Dame off in a few weeks, right? USC might take that spot of Notre Dame and put themselves. USC winning out. That means they will be competing from the Big Ten. So USC might be in there. We're gonna break down what teams have coming up next. That's what we're gonna do when we open up the phone lines. What teams can really make a case and push for the top 12 spots into the playoffs? Texas down at 21. Once again, that win over Oklahoma. Don't put too much weight on it because Archie Manning and that offense still was struggling. They did not look good. Him and the offense as a whole did not look good. Sarkisian's play calling was questionable. They got it because Mateer was hurt. Simple as that. That's what I truly feel like. Mateer is healthy. Oklahoma wins that game easily. They couldn't even put up points, man. Memphis, Utah, Cincinnati, Nebraska to round it out. Team that I think is not getting no love once again in this rankings this week. If they got it right, if they get it right, chat. In my opinion, Georgia Tech deserve a lot more love. An undefeated ACC team with some quality wins on their schedule. I think Georgia Tech could be moved up to at least 10, 9. I think Georgia Tech should be in front of Georgia. I think Georgia Tech can make a case to be in front of Oregon right now. You know, they should be in that top 8, top 7 right now. Right there in the rankings. Even if you put Texas Tech ahead of Bama, and you put Georgia Tech ahead of Bama and put us back at 8 where we were coming into this game, I wouldn't be mad with it because I truly believe that Alabama is the best 1-loss team, and Georgia Tech is a legit undefeated team with their current resume. So that's that. That's the review of the top 25. Now let's talk about big matchups coming up this weekend. Mary J, this is I don't think people chat AAA family. I don't think y'all have seen the lineup for real for this weekend. This one can get sticky this weekend. All right, this one can get real sticky. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Excuse me. I want to see. And it really starts. It really starts Friday night. The fact that Louisville is looking like a sneaky good team. Miller Moss and that Louisville squad. A lot of people forget who Miller Moss is, right? A lot of y'all like try to act like these guys they suck because they played at one school and didn't do good. Miller Moss is that USC quarterback that was getting those preseason Heisman votes probably like 3 years ago, I believe, as a red shirt freshman. And then he's got a Louisville squad and he got some receivers, man. They're explosive. They're explosive. That passing game is explosive for Louisville right now. Right, and a lot of people thought that Louisville was just going to come in. You're talking about a guy that's in the past 3 games, even in the loss to Virginia, has been averaging 300 yards a game. Right, 300 passing yards. He's throwing the ball about 50 times. They letting it rip. They got receivers that they believe in. They got playmakers, and this Miami team, their front is their bread and butter. Can they disrupt Louisville Friday night and come out with a win at home, or can Louisville do enough to keep them out in space and make enough explosive plays to really shut this team out, right? We're going to open the phone lines in 2 minutes, chat. Nebraska, Minnesota Friday night. a trash game that can be good for like a viewer that loves some old school Smash Mouth football. And surprisingly, this won't be traditional Smash Mouth. In my opinion, Nebraska is trying to be some type of semi-spread offense this season, which is crazy to me, right? It's crazy to see Nebraska throwing the ball as much as they are. You're talking about Dylan Raiola with 16 touchdowns through 6 games, 5 interceptions. They're throwing the ball a lot, and he's putting up some decent numbers with close to 1,600 pass yards right now. LSU then Saturday, early. We get to start early. We doing watch party Saturday, y'all. What's this Saturday? Tennessee. Oh no, I might be on campus. Chat. Let me know if y'all want to support that agenda again. Zach, let me know if you're gonna be able to make it this weekend. I'm supposed to be on campus this weekend, chat. I keep forgetting. But yeah, LSU Vanderbilt at noon. That's gonna be one to watch. Texas A&M at Arkansas at 2:30. That's gonna be another one to watch. Chat. Listen, Arkansas can play some ball. They can play some ball. A&M is good right now, but I think Arkansas can really play some ball, and they just, for them to be able to score like they did at Tennessee last week was pretty solid to me. And Petrino must got some type of motivation behind these guys, because Green looked like he was just comfortable against Tennessee. So Texas A&M at Arkansas is going to be scary. Going to be another good one to watch. That's at 2:30 with the after the Vanderbilt and LSU game. But then also kicking off at 2:30 is Ole Miss and Georgia. You got Ole Miss going into Athens. Lane Kiffin already starting the antics. Have been already starting the antics. Kirby Smart getting hype in. Jordan Harris jumping up on a medical table, getting the Georgia fans hype in the corner of the Jordan Harris Stadium, right? What coach gets up and celebrates like that against Auburn? That's whack. But you want to run it. Anyways, Texas and Kentucky. A lot of people used to look 2-3 years ago. We look at this matchup. We're like, Texas got this one's. Man, please. Kentucky is a physical team. They playing in Kentucky. Watch out, Texas. I just don't think you have a good team right now. I think you're going to need to lose 2 or 3 more, and then you're going to be forced to make some changes, play a lot of young guys, and then you're going to see what your team is looking like next year. But I don't think Texas even making the bowl game this season, chat. 4 losses for Texas. We predicting it. We predicting 4 losses for Texas. All right. Georgia Tech, Duke. Shout out to Georgia Tech once again. Can they continue to keep the streak up? They're going on the road against a sticky and scrappy Duke team. Can they get the win and stay undefeated in conference play, also in just overall record? I think they can. We're gonna talk about all these games. A sleeper, and this is one that everybody, I think both teams, when you talk about people that talk around these teams, they were worried about this game before the season, but since the season has started, nobody's really paying attention to South Carolina and how they're getting healthy and how they're being competitive in these games with Shane Beaman. And so Oklahoma, South Carolina. Oklahoma with John Mateer, healthy John Mateer is a different type of outcome. But this broke thumb, no thumb John Mateer, y'all remember that man ain't got no thumbs. If you didn't come into the live game day chat, in the Discord, the game day watch party chat in Discord, you missed out. It was a fun time. Thank you everybody that pulled up and had fun in there. But South Carolina, Oklahoma, man, be careful, Oklahoma, with this injury to Mateer, man. South Carolina still has a defense. Their offense may just not be clicking, but don't forget they always had a defense. Oh, that's one of them weird bugs. I thought it was a beetle. And then the rest of the night, it kind of dies out. But the first half of the day is great. USC Notre Dame should be a good one late that night to close out the night, 6:30. Auburn, Missouri. I don't think Missouri struggles with Auburn like everybody else does. I don't think Missouri goes into Jordan Harris struggles. If Auburn mess around and put a win up on Missouri, it's because Missouri had a bad game. Missouri is a good team. Missouri will make the playoffs this season. Let's look at Missouri's schedule. I like to do this to haters that try to play like Alabama winning on the road against Missouri by 3 points is bad. Missouri has Vanderbilt as a ranked opponent. They have A&M coming up. They got Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Missouri can very well go 1, 2, and 1. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Missouri can go 5-1. Right now, with the way Mateer's playing, I think Missouri can beat Oklahoma. I think with the way Missouri's playing at home, they could play a tough brand and play a tough game against A&M. They host them at home. Vanderbilt having to go to Vanderbilt, they might lose that one because the teams look so virtually similar. It'd be a game of inches there. They have a chance of losing on the road against Vanderbilt, and then at Arkansas at the end of the season, if Arkansas continues to play like they've been playing, so they can lose 2 games and still be a playoff team. They could be number 12 with the restricted schedule that they have. We need to, if Missouri gets this ranked win against Vanderbilt next week, let's say Vanderbilt stays ranked. Missouri gets this ranked win against Vanderbilt, wins against Texas A&M. That gives them 2 ranked wins of the season, and that will be their reason for having a case to be in the college football playoff. So, going to be interesting to see what Missouri does for the remainder of the season. And then you talking about Utah by BYU. We talked about that earlier. BYU to me is not a team that is legit right now. I think Utah's defense will be able to slow this game down enough, and the offense will be a surprise to this BYU team. Now, BYU plays a slow, physical brand of football. That's what their bread and butter is here, and they lead on their defense. BYU can score this year, though. It's not explosive, but they can score. They're efficient. So Utah, they're going to have their challenge cut out for them there. And this is another conference matchup. You get deep into the conference play now. Cincinnati, Oklahoma State. Cincinnati should put up 80 against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State looks horrible, y'all. They look bad. So we're going to open the phone lines, y'all. We're going to open the phone lines here on the Coach Smook Network. If you want to talk about these games, anything you want to talk about it when it comes to college football, we got the phone lines open for you. 334-625-1121. Jump in, say your name, and put me in the game, Coach, and we'll get you on the phone line. And while we wait for the phone lines to open, or we wait for a phone line to come in, let's talk about some of these matchups, man. To kick the day off, Louisville and Miami. Like, a lot of people are sleeping on Louisville. Miami's hot, I understand, but those Louisville offense, they throw the ball, man. They throw the ball. They have quick game. They have vertical threats. This Louisville offense will throw the ball. They will throw the ball, and I don't think nobody's really tested Miami this season. You know, I don't look at Louisville's schedule and say they're a dominant team or they're great. I just look at their tendencies and how they play, right? I look at their tendencies and how they play, and this team throws the ball a lot. So that tends to put aggressive defenses in not necessarily a bad position, but it puts pressure on them, forces you to come out of what you do to disrupt. And I won't say Louisville's offensive line is good at all. I think this past weekend against Virginia, the defensive front of Virginia was able to create some disruption. And I think Virginia's a physical team, but I don't think they're super athletic or as skilled up front as Missouri. I mean, not as Missouri, but as Miami. I don't think anybody in the country right now is as athletic as Miami up front. And that's just me being unbiased. Miami is probably the most athletic front. We saw before Florida State started having injuries, their front was showcasing some athleticism and different types of aspects that I felt like would be kind of hard to defend or to play against as an offense. But I look at the matchup this weekend. I think if Louisville wants a chance to win this game, they're going to have to really rely on that passing game. It's going to be one of those things where you're just going to have to live with it. I mean, they've passed the ball 40-something times the last 2 games, almost 40 times each game, right? And they putting up numbers. They don't have many drops. They break tackles. They have explosives. This Louisville team can be a threat against Miami if Miami doesn't handle business. Now, the fact that Miami's at home, Louisville's on the road, it can get ugly for Louisville. But this Louisville team is not a pushover team. Shout out to the 37 in the chat on YouTube. Again, we got the phone lines open. Tonight is a strict show schedule. We really only got the phone lines open for an hour. So if y'all going to call in, go ahead and call in and share your thoughts. I really want to get y'all on wax. We got some clips being posted from the last 2 call-in shows this past weekend and the show from this morning. Got some clips being posted Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. So be on the lookout for those. If you really rocking with the content, you'll go make sure you tap in and make sure you get those look at those clips and reshare them. All right, let me get in the comments real quick. I like that running back from Texas Tech. I appreciate that. Yeah. Who the heck is okay? I don't know. But anyway, he said I like that running back from Texas Tech. I haven't really watched him live, man. I see him on the highlights, man, but he's a big play guy. The same type of energy they was giving Ahmad Hardy from Missouri this past weekend, I think the Texas Tech running back deserves that type of hype too. I mean, the kid is explosive, right? He's explosive. As a matter of fact, let's open up his stats. Let's open up his stats here. Let's open up his stats because I want to see what his production is yards per game wise. Yards per carry, yards per game. That's what I want to see. Because like I said, I think he's legit. And you remember Texas Tech has had some hidden athletes in each there's those skills positions anyways. They going against Arizona State this weekend, and they on the road at Arizona State. See, this is the game. Once teams start getting attention, like Texas Tech, a team like Texas Tech start getting the attention like this. This is a game where they go in and they freaking crap the bed, right? And I hate that. I love it, but I hate it because I feel like this is a good team. Man, y'all really gonna let Caden be the first caller tonight?
Call from
Hey, and the Diesel.
Yo, what's up, Katie? You in the game with Coach Smook? Talk to me, man.
Coach Smook, how you doing tonight, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just talking some college football. You ready to talk some college football tonight, man?
Yeah, quick question here, Coach Smook. Besides college football, I want to ask you, how's your night been so far? Pretty good?
Been pretty good, man. Been pretty good.
That's good. Hey, first of all, before I start, people have been asking me on social media about they asked me a little basketball trivia question. They asked me who is the greatest of all time. I said there's only two greatest of all time in basketball. I said Michael freaking Jordan and Kobe Bryant. They're the only two that sit on the peak of Gold Mountain, and nobody else can touch that level of Gold Mountain. Bottom line.
All right, this is Kaden. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say my best player of all time in NBA in history, right? Best basketball player of all time. And then I'm gonna say my top two. You said top two, right?
I said my top two already.
Okay. I want you to explain why you feel that way, but then listen to my top two. And I am a diehard Kobe Bryant fan. Before I say this, I have to make this disclaimer, chat. Everybody in the chat know me. I'm a diehard Kobe fan, right? Diehard. From the time he was out of Marion up until he retired, the day he passed, I cried for 2 weeks straight, like for real. But when I talk about the greatest of all time, you cannot look at what LeBron James is doing currently right now. Maybe 10 years ago, it was a debate. But currently right now, what LeBron James is doing and how he's done it his whole career, you cannot sit there and say that this man is not the greatest basketball player of all time. And I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron sexual. None of that stuff they be talking. I am not one of them. I almost didn't cheer for the Lakers when we signed him because I'm not a LeBron fan. But when it comes to him being dominant and handling the game like he's supposed to, we've seen LeBron go through three different phases of basketball, three different eras.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, give me your thoughts, Caden. I want you to talk to the chat. I got to make a quick run real quick outside. You talk to the chat. Hey, y'all, Caden is in the game. Y'all talk to Caden right now. And Caden, explain why you think your guy is the top guy of all time. Go ahead.
Well, Coach Smook, I appreciate you handing me the floor here. Number one, Michael Jordan, obviously, nobody could fly like him. Nobody. I mean, he competed with the guys like Larry Johnson or Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. I mean, he's got the rings, 6 NBA rings. I mean, he's the guy that Nike signed that, made the shoe game what it is. Michael Jordan debuted the Air Jordan 1 in 1985. And you want to talk about a guy with accolades? Michael Jordan has them. Now, as far as Kobe Bryant, I mean, his mentality, the way he set himself apart of everybody else, the way he handled himself. I mean, 5 NBA rings. I mean, if he didn't pass away, Coach Smook, I think we can be fair. He probably have more NBA rings than Michael Jordan. And he would just dust LeBron James he just dust him out of the game and say, step aside. One of the greatest of all time has come back home to the LA Lakers. And I mean a true LA Laker. LeBron isn't a true LA Laker. Like, he just signed with the Lakers because he came from Cleveland. We want to talk about a true Laker? That's Kobe Bryant. he set the tone. I mean, I'm being fair. And Michael Jordan, as far as he's concerned, I mean, he made the game the way it is today, hyped around shoes. I
Hey,
mean, he
Katie,
did everything.
Katie. All right, Katie. All right, I'm back. I'm glad you filled in, man. Appreciate Katie for filling in. So at the end of the day, you just think it's Michael Jordan, okay? Right? You think Michael Jordan the greatest?
Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Okay. I'm a diehard Kobe fan. I'm gonna go LeBron. And then number two, I'm gonna go because I'm thinking about the game of basketball, not just my favorite player. I'm thinking about like change the game. Was unstoppable. Michael Jordan. We'll give Michael Jordan number two, but definitely LeBron. All right, Kate, let's get back to college football, man. We got college football talk. Ohio State is your team. What do you got to say about some college football tonight? Because earlier today, we got to talking about your girlfriends and all this other crazy stuff. What do you got to say about some college football tonight, Kate? Talk to me, man.
Well, first of all, our schedule is weak as hell, and the Big Ten can't find us good opponents to face besides Oregon, which is the single worst problem because, I mean, let's be fair. I'm just being fair, Coach Smook. Like, Oregon is a good team, but, I mean, if we play them again right now, I'd say we beat them. No questions asked.
You think Ohio State beats Oregon right now?
100%. And that's defensively wise. Our defense is better than last year, to be fair.
I agree, and I don't think Oregon's front is as dominant as they were trying to make this case for them, especially at the beginning of this season. And I mean, you turn on the film and it looks like it, but Oregon really, to me, hadn't been even against Penn State. I don't think Penn State was a legit squad.
They struggled against Penn State.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't struggle against Penn State. Like, we've beaten Penn State, and if we beat Penn State again, I mean, it's going to look bad on their intern head coach's record, on their intern coach's record.
Who is that? Who ended up getting the job for James Franklin? Chat. Who did they announce the interim coach right now already?
I don't even know, to be completely fair. I just heard of the news, and then I literally was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, that was that the writing was on the wall before the season started. The next big unwarranted loss for James Franklin. We kind of knew he was going to be up out of there, man.
I was preaching his, him being fired, but you know what, Coach Smook, 2 weeks ago I said I wanted Ohio State to play like Miami, Texas Tech, BYU, Utah. I want them to come on our regular season schedule instead of, and even if we play them in the playoffs, like, I'd rather have a tough team to go on the road to play, or even at home, because it shows it shows what you're truly made out of, what your metal's made out of. I mean, it speaks for itself. I'm just being completely fair, Coach Smook.
You're right, and I don't know, man. I think Ohio State has handled the part of their schedule that was going to be the test for them. I think a couple of teams show up and give some spirited efforts on this schedule. The fact that y'all got to go to Ann Arbor this year, it will be a game. I think Michigan's lost got a lot of people off their bandwagon, but that's still a good Michigan team. And
right.
Yeah, but I do believe Ohio State might be able to run the table. Who do they lose to on this schedule, chat? Let's be honest. They get Penn State at home. They get and that's it. That's like the next biggest test for them. UCLA won't challenge them. They get UCLA at home.
We're gonna smack them.
So this Ohio State schedule, they might be able to run the table for the regular season, and they next test won't be till Michigan at the end of the season going into the playoffs. So that kind of puts you in a position to prepare you for the playoffs. So Matt Patricia might get a look from Penn State. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't get into the coaching carousel, y'all. I don't get into the coaching carousel. It's so tainted right now with guys going to schools. It's like schools aren't even looking at systems and fits anymore. And that's why you see the changes we have. People are chasing names, like most of the Bama fans want to do when Coach Saban retired, wanted to chase names wasn't looking at the personnel on roster, wasn't looking at the philosophies they try to carry. You talking about going to get an offensive coordinator be your head coach that doesn't care what the defense does as long as his offense puts up points. And we can talk about how all good. No, we had to find balance, and that's what Alabama did. But Caden, last minute, man, we got another caller calling in, man. We done missed 2 phone calls since you've been on. Talk to me, man. What's your final thoughts on this weekend's matchups, bro?
Ohio State, Wisconsin. I mean, that's not going to be even a no-brainer competition. That's just.
You don't think so?
Hell no, Coach Smook. I said it the last couple of weeks. The last couple matches for Ohio State, no competition.
Yeah.
Why do you think I tell people we got no competition in this mother? Yes.
I feel you, man. Yeah, I mean,
truth be told, Coach Smook, 2 weeks ago I said it again. I want Miami, BYU, Utah, the Mountaineers. I mean, send anybody up our way. I begged the Big Ten commissioner on social media. I said, please, for the love of God, send somebody outside of our conference. I said, Miami, BYU, IU, or not Indiana, ISU, Utah, the Mountaineers. I said, send anybody up our way. I said, LSU.
You said it.
I said anybody.
You said it,
We're
Kay.
coming to get them.
You definitely said it. You definitely said it. I give you that. Caden been calling for their head, y'all. He been calling for their head. So give me your score.
And I'll tell you this, Coach Smook. And we talked about this earlier. We got Alabama in 2027, 2028.
Caden, I really hope and pray that I'm still doing what I'm doing. Well, I ain't gonna say I hope that I'm doing what I'm doing. I still hope that I'm in this industry in some way to where we can stay connected. And when Alabama beats Ohio State, I can't wait to hear what you got to say about it. I can't wait. Like, I feel like that by that time, what's that, 2027? Yeah, Jordan, we're going to be at the game 2027. That's how Coach Smook Network going to be moving. We're going to have the whole party bus thing going. We're going to have our entourage, AAA entourage game day tickets. We're flying 4 community members out to the game, once a year. That's going to be something. Those the aspirations we got, man. Y'all give it up for that, man. It ain't about me. I want to give everybody experience. If y'all didn't see, man, we got to feed the homeless thanks to y'all, man, in collaboration with Revelation Baptist Church and the AAA Community Coach Smook Network. We was able to feed 27 individuals yesterday with hot dogs and hamburgers and potato chips after church. So, yeah, when we contribute from the Coach Smook Network, that's y'all contributing to it. So y'all are doing your part or helping do y'all part. And it's a very small part, but it's doing something. Something is better than nothing. And we were able to feed 27 individuals, struggling or homeless individuals in the Montgomery area on yesterday. And we plan to do it at least once a month from here on out. So thank you all for supporting that. But Caden, that's going to be it for the phone call, man. I appreciate you for tapping in, brother. You tap in on Friday for the call-in segment too, bro.
Hey, Coach Smook, You and I both know 2027, Alabama's medal is going to get truly tested because, let me be clear, no SEC team besides Tennessee has shown up to the horseshoe in our lifetime. So, you know what? I'm going to tell you Crimson Tide fans, be prepared when you enter the horseshoe because when it's third down and hell's bells ring and it's screaming, I hope you're prepared to get your medal tested.
All right, man. All right, man. Bye, Kaden.
Call from Zach Willie.
Oh man, Zach hung up. I'm sitting over here waiting on doggone Caden to stop with his pregame speech for 2 years from now, and Zach missed a phone call from Zach. I'm trying not to be rude, chat. I know Caden coming in with his Ohio State. It's good. It's good for trash talk, man. But he been real soft with it though. If he gonna be tough, he need to be tough with it. Ain't it right? Wade coming in. Wade still ain't got no wrist, man. What is up with this? What kind of? Got another phone call on the line, y'all. Let's get it.
Call from Zach Willie.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game? Talk to me, brother.
What's good, Coach Smook?
Nothing much, man. We just, we just, I know you heard Caden on the line. He had a lot to say about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he likes to talk about that matchup 2 to 3 years from now.
I mean, like, I hope it lives up to the hype. Well,
Hmm.
but that's 2 years from now. We got plenty of college football this weekend that's coming up that we could talk about. Zach, come on, run it down for me, Zach. Let's talk some college football.
Yeah, I I believe this weekend with us playing at home, I think it would be not as challenging of a game. Now, if we was playing at Neyland Stadium, I believe it'd be a little bit more challenging of a game because of the road environment, the crowd noise, and all of that. But with us playing at home, I believe we're going to pull out the win. I think Tennessee they haven't really been tested yet. I don't think Georgia was, really the big offensive test.
They
I
let
think they
Zach, you say that, and I want you to kind of talk about that because that's what everybody's going to say. Well, they beat Georgia, or Georgia beat them just like you beat Georgia by 3 points. Well, they did. They lost to Georgia at home, and they lost to a Georgia offense that has not shown anybody anything, anybody anywhere that they can really be a consistently explosive offense, and they put up 40 points on Tennessee.
right. And Mississippi State is an improved team this year, but I don't think they're at the level to where they will be like in a year or two to really compete.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Uh,
said that
uh,
because people not paying attention to Mississippi State and what they doing with their in-state recruiting, but also they've been able to go in the
mhm,
portal and get some quality guys that's in the SEC that want to stay in the SEC. And before you know it, Mississippi State is going to have everybody's second and third string guy that felt like they should have been playing as a red
mhm,
shirt sophomore, a red shirt freshman. Mississippi State is going to have all those guys on their roster. Just imagine. And this, I'm glad you brought this
mhm.
up, Zach. Just imagine Mississippi State with Jalen Hale at wide receiver, Mississippi State with I forget the young man's name at Tennessee right now that had a lot of hype coming into the season, but he's not getting no targets, nor is he as a wide receiver there. They got a solid quarterback. All these offensive linemen. Let's just use Bama players. Let's bump it. Let's have this conversation, Zach. Imagine if we mess
Okay.
around and we don't utilize all the assets on our roster that I feel like could be utilized. Let's talk about the offensive line. We keep playing, and I'm not saying bench them, but we keep giving heavy reps to Wilk and Formby, right? Let's say
Right.
guys like Rock Montgomery and I don't think Michael Carroll hit the portal, but let Casey Poe and Olis Alanin, guys that are seeing spot plays or not seeing reps at all, they hit the portal and they go to Mississippi State. These three guys are three guys that at any point in time, if they were thrown into the fire for Bama, I feel like they would be productive, right?
Right.
So they go to another school and they get made a priority. They earn it, right? They earn it and they become some
Right.
impactful players. Mississippi State, they're doing that. They're going to get all those guys. Imagine them getting Richard Young off of our roster, or Danny Lewis and who's the other tight end that isn't getting the looks right now? Brody Dalton might have an extra year eligibility after this year, a transfer guy that we brought in that I feel like can really impact the roster right now. We can lose guys like
Right.
that. Jalen Hill, Cole Adams in the wide receiver room, not getting looks. They can go to a team like Mississippi State. And you look at those guys alone, that's 6 or 7 guys on Mississippi State offense that can really give just about any team in the conference problems.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
that's what Florida State
And,
did.
yep. And Cole Adams, I mean, he has that sneaky speed. You
Ain't
know,
that sneaky about it. Ain't that sneaky about it no more. Ain't nothing sneaky about that. His dude, it's a reason. It's a reason, man. That contain element on kickoff return, they are really key on this guy and trying to contain him because ain't nothing sneaky about his speed no more. And shout out to Monster Energy Drink. I know y'all can't see the can because of the green screen effect, but this I've got onto the Monster Juices. Ghost Energy has a flavor like this, so I tried this one, and this one is actually good. Rio Punch is pretty good. So if y'all want to get on some Monster, shout out to Monster, man. That's actually a good energy drink. Yeah.
But yeah, and I think Cole Adams should get more reps, or some more reps and some more looks. But with the way that we call our offense and the way Ty spreads the ball around, it's hard to have a clear wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, he's giving everybody reps, so everybody, you know, is making plays, but it's hard. And we have like a set rotation, you know, and maybe by the time, you know, Cole Adams and some of the others get in, you know, whoever we're playing, our opponent has made adjustments, and so they're locking down Cole Adams or locking down Danny Lewis or locking down Jalen Hale.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's hard to get them the reps that they want because of how we game plan.
Facts.
And run our offense. So it's a double-edged sword, so to speak. But I mean, I like how we run our offense, but also it, you know, doesn't allow for players to get the kind of reps that they believe they deserve. You know, and so it's difficult, but then again, you know, we have to go with what works, you know, and come out with the best game plan for whatever scenario we have.
Facts. My guy Jaquan Jones said, how do you think our defense matches up with their offense? I say it like this. I think Tennessee plays right into our defense's hands. That whole stack spread situation that they got going on, we have seen and this is not a game where you can have weaknesses in the secondary. You need guys that can really hold their own for 2 seconds into the play clock. Tennessee has been getting the ball out quickly. And when they test you deep, it's a lot of 50-50 balls. There is no reason for our safeties to get caught up in run support in this game. Tennessee run offense has not been explosive. The way that Alabama's defense has been playing over the past 2 or 3 weeks, well, I say since the Wisconsin game, the way that the team has been playing, those explosives, I haven't seen Tennessee really hurt anybody. They've had opportunities to have explosives in the run game, and they have not been able to do it. This Alabama team is tackling better. They're not bringing on the run game as much. This is a matchup made in heaven for our defense, honestly. Zach, talk about it. How do you see? How do you think our defense matches up against their offense this weekend?
I believe our defense matches up, like you said, it's a perfect match, you know, and with the way Kane Wallman has been calling our defense, I think it better sets up for us to force Aguilar into turning the ball over, you know, giving our offense more opportunities to make plays and score. And so I think with how our defense matches up with their offense, I believe we're looking good, you know, and hopefully, you know, everything works out great, you know, and we go out and dominate this weekend, but you never know until game day, you know, so we'll just wait and see.
Facts. I'm telling you right now, man. A lot of people aren't looking at the primary matchups. I'm sorry, y'all. A lot of people aren't looking at the primary matchups when I look at this game for the matchups. And I think right now the highlight is the trenches. Tennessee's front has not their offensive line has not been great. They have not been great. That's what really kept Georgia in the game. Their their front was able to start getting a push, and it allowed them to really stay in that game and go tit for tat. It was opportunities for Tennessee's offense to be explosive, and Georgia found a way to disrupt them. Do I think Kane Womack comes into this game and runs a lot more aggressive style defense against this Tennessee squad whose front is struggling? He better. If he doesn't and gives Aguilar time to sit in the pocket, I don't think Aguilar's the most accurate, but he is a collegiate quarterback and can be get in a rhythm and be explosive at times. We're talking about a guy with almost 1,700 passing yards 6 games into the season, averaging what is it? Yards per game average. What is his yards per game average right now? Let me see. I'm gonna pull his stats up real quick, Jack.
That's what happened to us last Saturday with Missouri. There at the end of the game, we kind of went soft, and when we went into the soft coverage, it allowed for Bo Perbula,
baby.
Perbula towards our defense, and some of it was our defensive players not, staying in phase like they was supposed to, but some of it was, just the Missouri's wide receivers, making good plays.
Yeah. And what I've seen from Tennessee's plays, and just looking at some of these stats, man, whatever you get from Joey Aguilar in the first quarter, that's his best shot. His completion percentage throughout the season has went down as the game went further along. Unlike Ty Simpson. You look at his game splits, his worst completion percentage is in the third quarter when he's thrown the less amount of pass attempts in these last few games. And so that lets me know that Alabama has not been forceful with the offense, and the defense has been doing good enough to keep us in a situation where we can just kind of grind these wins out, get those long drives going, chew the clock up, and force their offense into situations to give our defense opportunities to create more opportunities for our offense. So our defense versus their offense, I think we have the advantage at each level. Interior defensive line is playing like crazy. They struggle on the interior of their offensive line, and their left tackle is having Caden Proctor-like problems from last year. He's having those type of problems. And what I've seen from the edge rushers, LT Overton, Justin Hill has came in and made an impact. Keon Keeley, we saw him working from the interior and from that bandit position. You see Yanzi Pierre really flashing, and then if we can get our guys from the second level, those secondary guys to fit runs a little bit more consistently, this defense will be elite, man. It's small things that we got to finish up and be able to close out for this team to be elite. So that's how I feel about the matchup there, Jaquan. Good question, Jaquan. That was a good question and topic of conversation. And great point, Zach. Let me see if we got another one. Ty's the best QB in all of college football, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. Yeah, we've been saying that. But and D Wade said, just like I was talking about, the passing stats for Aguilar, he's averaging almost 300 yards a game. Right there, 286 a game right now this season. So it's not like he's scared to throw the ball. He's got 5 interceptions. But like I said, he wants to get that ball out quick. He's not throwing a lot of touchdowns. You're talking about 14 touchdowns. I think Ty Simpson has 16 or 17 right now. So they're on a similar pace. They're on a similar pace. It's not like he's scared to let the ball go. And he's not going to try to hurt you with his legs as much. His biggest game was against Arkansas last week, and they forced him to scramble. If you watch that game, he had to use his legs to make a few plays. And that 28-yard run or that 32-yard run, something like that he had late in that game in the second half was big for Tennessee. But I think we had an advantage this game, Zach. I agree with you. I think our defense has the advantage against their offense. Final thought, Zach, so we could open the phone line back up and get some people on the phone line. We weren't trying to stay on the phone on the show live that long tonight. And just so y'all know, man, we do have a new segment that'll be popping up on our call-in shows on Saturday mornings. The kickoff pregame call-in show. Zach will be joining the panel, actually coming on, and he's taking over the pick'ems for the weekend. So it'll be Zach, and we'll have another guest come on and do the picks with Zach. Zach will do his picks first, and then we'll bring on our guests. They'll debate about the picks, and then the call-in show, post-game call-in shows, we'll compare them. We'll start doing the competition. I think Zach has the best record right now in our college pick'ems. I haven't did it in the past 2 weeks. I don't know why they won't submit my stuff, but I think Zach right now, Zach and Big Homie might be in the lead as far as picks the past 2 weeks. I know Jordan has started out hot. I think Antonio Snell was in that pick'ems thing. We had a few people jump in on the link, and but we've been have some good picks. Shout out to Isaiah Myrick, my little cousin in the chat over there on TikTok, and Cade. Zach, final thoughts, man. You got a minute. Run it down. Let us know what's on your mind, bro.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things from our offense this weekend. I see our one game continuing to improve, even though Jam Miller is probably going to be out this game. I still see Kevin Riley will be a great replacement for him, and I think we'll use Daniel Hill a little more this game because I just feel like he provides a more power back type run game that we need in this game. And Kevin Riley is like the change of speed back. So I think them two will have a big game. I think Ty will have another big game, Ty doing Ty things. I think the offensive line has an opportunity to step up and be big. Our defensive line has the opportunity to be big. Just everybody. And I'll holler at y'all later. Roll Tide to you, Coach Smook. Roll Tide to my AAA family. I'll holler at y'all guys later.
Shout out Zach Wilgis, y'all, for coming in and turning up on the phone lines. And congratulations. Y'all make sure y'all congratulate Zach, man. Zach has been consistently trying to just contribute to the network. And, man, his dedication to the brand, man, I know if anybody believes in the Coach Smook Network, is Zach Wilgis. I know it's Mary J. I know it's MJ. I know it's my sister Shawnee Hudson. I know that my team. If you on that team, man, I know for a fact, and I'm not saying nobody else doesn't. I'm just saying these people go above and beyond. Big homie Britt, who's probably the newest member of the family, she came in full-fledged head first and just been doing her duties on both sides of the fence with moderating and putting the word out there. I got people, high school kids hitting me up. Yeah, my buddy Amir, man. I got a buddy Upshaw, Amir, and it's just we're growing, man. Each phase of our brand is growing, and it's all coming together. It's kind of like we're growing, and we've taken small seeds and planted in 6 or 7 different spots. And for the longest, it felt like nothing was happening, but you stayed watering it, you stayed paying attention and nurturing it the right way, giving it the energy that is needed. And now it's growing, and everything's growing to where it's interlooping and coming together. And our team is coming together, and we're doing great things. So I appreciate Zach for calling in. I feel that Coach on the less offensive production to win games throughout our regular season saves the playbook for the playoffs. Antoine, I don't think of it on that aspect. I feel like this staff is sold on doing what you got to do to win. So if me winning this game, if my script that I'm running, if in the third quarter the script that I plan or the way that I want this game to go, we're up by 6, regardless if it's we've had the ball 7 times and we've scored on 3 possessions and we missed out on 2 scores or whatever. I think they are so set on this is how the game is going to play out. If we play this game, we'll be in the lead at this point in the game. If we're at that point, there's no need to continue to make adjustments and continue to try to. We just want to win. The point differential don't matter in this playoff voting as long as you win the game. Do people not realize that? What up, Isaiah? Good to see you over there on the TikTok side, man. But if you win, you don't have to. You can win every game by 1 point. At the beginners, you can beat an unranked opponent by 1. You can beat the number 1 team by 1. If you win all the games that they put in front of you on your schedule, they cannot keep you out of the playoffs. They can't keep you out of the playoffs. And at the end of the day, If you win, you win. That's all that matters, right? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? I know the style points and all that stuff matter to the fans, but let's talk about the realistic things of things. Like, if you win, if I'm doing what I need to do and I'm coaching, I'm calling plays just for us to win, that's all that matters at the end of the day. If we go out here this weekend and we don't beat Tennessee by 40, right? Does that mean we're a worse team? No, we beat them. We beat them. We beat them. That's all that matters. Appreciate that, Novell. Speed roll tide. Jaquan says, watching Tennessee's last game, they can't stop the run and we need Jam back. I don't think we need Jam back to run against Tennessee. I think the style of running that Bowens and that, I forget the other kid's name from Georgia had, that game that they had against Tennessee, we got that in Kevin Riley. And Daniel Hill is getting calm, man. Daniel Hill is getting calm. All right, y'all. So we got another call on the line, and I'm going to do something special tonight. Let me see something real quick.
Call from
Yo, Melvin, what's up, man? You in the game? Talk to me.
What's up? Coach Smook.
Man, what's up, man? Hold on, let me do something special. While we on the phone line, Melvin, you get a special call in. You get to have two people on the phone with you. I'm gonna bring my brother on the team, man. We've been kind of a safe space for my brother since this past weekend. Okay. I don't know if anybody else was on the phone at 3:00 in the morning consoling Oklahoma fans like I was, but I definitely was, and it was from the heart. It was genuine because I wanted Texas to lose so bad. So we bringing Jason, Hall of Fame Jason, onto the stage chat. Y'all bring my brother into. Hold on, I gotta make another scene. I forgot I didn't have no scene set up. Hold on, Jason. Let me get another. Jason, I'm looking like a soup sounds right now, Jason. But Melvin, talk to us, man. What's on your thought? What's on your mind about the about this weekend's games, man?
Yeah, I can't wait to this Tennessee game, man. We just show up, show out, beat them. Send them back home to the trash can. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, man. Send them back home to the trash can. To the trash can.
Not the trash can. Yeah. My boy said send them back home to the trash. Don't do them like that, man. What they said, what they called it, garbage man convention. That's what they stadium look like.
The garbage man collective. That's it. That's how I call them, the garbage man collective.
The garbage man collective. Shout out to the garbage man collective. Would you? I don't know, man. For me, I don't know, man. For me this year against Tennessee, and the mentality of this team, the way that we've been playing, man, is one of those things, bro, where I'm not as hype about this Tennessee game. I'm looking at the matchup, I'm looking at the philosophies, I'm looking at how teams are producing and what they put on the field. And I think this Tennessee offense and the way that Alabama's team has been trending, and this hasn't happened in college football, and Jason is here to agree with it. You haven't seen many teams show up and be consistent as far as how they're going to win or lose a game this year. Like last year or 3 years ago, you could be like, man, Georgia Tech going to show up and they're going to lose a game like this. But now you say that about Georgia Tech or any team in college football, they go out and do the exact opposite of what we've been seeing them do for the past 3 weeks. So it's an interesting weekend coming against Tennessee. But if we show up and we do what we've been trending towards and some of the things we've been seeing on a consistent basis, I think this is a 3-possession win at home. Last week against Missouri, we had an opportunity to go up by 3 possessions. But I think this week at home,
yeah, you're right.
I think we have a chance to really handle this team like that. Talk to me. What's your thoughts on it?
So my thoughts on, we're going to look good. Hopefully the score go higher, better, at 20. Hopefully you just get at least 30 points or something like that. I'm not asking for too much, man. That's it.
Okay. Well, shoot, Melvin, I'm gonna get off the phone lines a little bit quicker tonight. We got Jason on the line. We got a segment. I gotta get this on record because a lot of Oklahoma fans are tweaking. And I know we was kind of laughing about the Oklahoma loss this past weekend. It was kind of funny because it was rough because why could you? I think I was more so shocked at the fact that they played Mateer the whole game. Melvin, what about you, man?
See, before you let me go, I like to see them suffer like that. I like to see they pain and stuff like that. So
nobody was caring about us when we was hurting, huh?
Yeah, they ain't care about nothing. I know that, but now look at them. Sad little face. Well, tough cookies.
Tough cookies. That's what's up, Melvin.
They deserve what they. I'll say that they deserve what they got. The way that it was coached, the way that it was handled, you get what you get, and I mean, the thing that, it's what I've been thinking about since then. It's like, man, if you look at it, it was probably Texas's worst team that they've had in the last few years, and maybe the worst team they're going to have for the next few years.
Yeah.
So if you beat them with BB's
that
best
was
team,
say tough cookies.
Yeah. He said tough kick. I don't think he could hear you. Hold up. Real quick before you get off, Melvin. Jason, say something. Go ahead and talk again. I want to see if we can get you fed through to bro real quick.
Okay. I was just saying that, when you start looking at having the worst team that they probably had in a few years, that's the tough part for me. That's the tough part for me because this is the best team Venables has had, and you lost to him anyway. It sucks.
Facts. And it's kind of one of them things, Jason. I said Sark didn't save his job either. I don't think Sark saved himself by winning this game. They are even more under the fire. You played against a team with a quarterback with no thumbs, and that's how you had to win. Like that literally saved.
They're gonna have to figure something out because I think that it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of those things where that you can't afford to go in there and like lose to Texas A&M, and look. You got an opportunity, you should have a good opportunity to beat Georgia, but they ain't beating Georgia like that without playing offense.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Yeah, facts. Well, Melvin, I appreciate you for tapping in today, man. And hopefully, man, listen, this weekend, man, for the call-in, I want you to bring some heat like you did 2 weeks ago for the Georgia game. I'm gonna post the clip. I'm gonna post the clip tomorrow. I think it's being posted tomorrow. Yo, UGA call-in.
Oh yeah, you talking about what I said? Turn that match out to a Dolphin.
Yeah, I had to get that one. I had to get that one, Jason. I mean, Melvin. But I appreciate you for calling in, my guy. Roll Tide, man.
Well, good one, Melvin.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Y'all give it up for my guy, Melvin. Chat. All right, y'all. Phone lines is closed for a minute. We got a special guest on the screen, man. My brother Jason Watkins. Y'all welcome him onto the screen, man, and tread carefully, y'all. Because we was up till about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I'm off of Missouri wind high. Oh, well, I'm not really. I think I had just woke up from a nap. That's what happened Saturday night because we played so early. So a lot of my emotions was gone by 8:30 p.m. And the Texas-Oklahoma game after Arthur really took it out of me, just laughing at the fact that Brett Venables really played John Mateer that whole game. Crazy, Jason. Talk to us, man. This first time most of us being able to hear, most of the family being able to hear from you since the game. Talk to us, man. The floor is yours, bro.
I feel like it was a mistake, and I've been back and watched it again and stuff, and he had some good plays early on and stuff, but once he got hit and that thing started bleeding, it was clear that he probably did exactly what we talked about last week leading up to the game, is that honestly it was a big risk to go ahead and go with him right there. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that, look, maybe he was healthy enough, maybe he wasn't. I don't feel like he was, and I certainly know that at some point in the game he wasn't. Now, they continue saying that they're good and healthy, that he was healthy after the game too. When we watched him turning the ball over and he turned his pant leg into red. I mean, it looked like a damn tampon, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's the time of that month. Like for real, man. But to, like you said, to double down.
He was just kept wiping his hand on it, and like if the incision's not healed, a broken bone is. Come on, bro.
It doesn't make sense. I don't care how many screws and whatever wrap. Once it starts bleeding, man, you gotta be. And this is one of those things, man. Like going forward, this could be, like you said, coaching malpractice. One. Right, because this is a day and age. You're talking about kids or filing lawsuits against the NCAA for not allowing them to get as much money as that somebody said they can get. You don't think Mateer, if he can't be a first round pick after this season, you don't think something's going to come up 2 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of this. I
don't think it's an injury that's going to be after a long time. But here's the thing: if it turns into something worse, I don't know. They're still acting like he's fine, and like. My concern is this, is that you could have played. It's like the bad decisions continue to get made. And like, look, man, I'm trying my best to not like completely just skewer anybody because I like Coach Venables. I think Coach Venables is the best defensive coach in the country without a doubt, and I think that he's proven that he recruits his ass off. They build a great culture. They got good kids. These kids are graduating, doing all that stuff. Everything you want to have out of them, and they're winning games. Here's the thing: when it comes down to games like this, and you're so worried about just that one, right? Just that one, because and don't get me wrong, it's not okay to lose to Texas. I'm not saying that because it isn't.
Right.
But here's the thing: if you play Hawkins, you play Michael Hawkins, he's not the starter. You play him, and let's say you lose, which I'm telling you now, they win with Hawkins last weekend.
Yeah,
but let's say
100% against Texas.
They shut Texas completely down in the first half. All you had to do, you put up 1 touchdown and 3 field goals, you probably win in that game.
Jason, you got to think with Hawkins' athletic ability and his ability to create off schedule against that Texas defense, he's scoring twice in that game, whether he's moving the pocket and throwing a ill-advised downfield pass and completing it. Like, it's not like it couldn't have been a game for him that he couldn't have won. This was definitely a winnable game with Hawkins, and you got the defense to back him up and let him settle in.
Think about it, Coach. If you do play Hawkins and you lose, then at the end of the year, if you end up with 3, then that's gonna be like, well, they had their starter out because he was injured. They had to keep him out of the game. That would have been the narrative, for playoff discussion, right?
Yeah.
So that would have been the right decision, just for the simple fact that it would have been smart to do it. And yet, even when he starts turning the ball over, the 3rd turnover, they're still only down. After that possession, they were still only down by a touchdown. The next possession, when he turned it over the 3rd time, they were still only down by a touchdown. Bro, put him in now. Put him in at any point. That's 10 minutes left. You got to go try to do something, and you haven't been moving the football the entire second half. And to me, that's a decision that is coaching malpractice right there. Right there is the fact that you won't say in your headphones, get him out and put in the backup now. It's your football team. I don't care if you're a defensive guy. And the fact that he doesn't want to, it feels like he isn't sure of himself to make offensive decisions. And that's a problem for a head coach. It's your team. It's your record.
Hey, Jason, I said this, and somebody in the chat from your chat said it too. I think that's just my damn opinion. Said it. Brett Venables, great defensive coordinator. Not the best head coach thus far. And I know this ain't his first rodeo as a head coach. He came into like the level he is, the respect that he gets right now is because of his defensive mind and his defensive coordinating job. I don't see the game management skills. Same thing I said was going to be Sarkisian's issue, and it has been.
The way that you saw what they did at the end of the first half, right?
I mean, come on, man. This is not every coordinator needs to be a head coach. Like, game managing is a different part to coaching. You sometimes for game management, you have to just pull yourself away from the play calling, see what your team is doing and what's working for your coordinators as far as play calling. Until you get to a turn point in a game or something like that, you have to be able to adjust on the fly. And that's what game management is. I haven't seen that from Brett Venables yet since he's been at Oklahoma. I didn't see it from Sarkisian. If he had explosive offense and decent defense like he did last year, that saved him for the past 2 to 3 years. Like, we have yet to see, and everybody, all Alabama fans keep complaining, talking about we need to fire Kane Womack or we need to fire Kalen DeBoer. Game management, Kane Womack's losses have came to 2 or three out of his 5 total losses at Bama have came against ranked opponents on the road. I don't think that's a coaching problem. That's just natural happenings. This is part of the changeover process. To have 5 total losses in your first 20 games at your new program, I think you're in a good spot. BV didn't have that luxury when he got to Oklahoma, nor did he have the roster. We're not going to forget that. It was a crap show when he showed up. But you're talking about this is year 6 now, 5 6?
This is year 4.
Year 4? Dang. See, I'm trying to rush them on through this season. I was kind of counting this season, but you got your recruits. You've had time to play around with the portal. You went and got a new
Well,
OC.
it's all his team now. That's the point. It is all his team, and they recruited well. Listen, and there's a lot more to it than just what you do. But look, the bottom line is losing to Texas is not okay, and that's why you've got guys like Sooner Cowboys who's going a little far right now, and you know what I'm talking about. But
He is.
But he's going a little far. But what I will say is, these are things that at this point now that we need to start seeing you do better with it. We need to start seeing you do better with it. And look, the fact is you don't have a game to play with when you're playing this back half, because and the biggest problem that I have now, to be fair, and to what Sooner Cowboys is saying, here's what I've been saying. This is probably the worst Texas team we've seen in the last 3 years. Right?
Mhm.
Definitely. It may be the worst Texas team we see in the next 3 years. And this is the best BV team he's had. And you still don't go out there and get it.
And let's be honest, Jason. The John Mateer injury changes the whole way you approach the game. You don't have that asset or that skill set in your quarterback room. But the coaching evaluation starts at that point. How do you adjust and continue to be a productive team? I truly believe, and this is just my thought, Georgia, with their struggling offense, I truly believe that Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo have a plan in place for if backup behind Garner Stockton, whoever that is right now, right, if he has to go in, I guarantee you they will be comfortable with handing that ball off and trying to implement the quarterback run game, play action, dump offs, all of that, just to make sure that they stay within the wheelhouse or have an actual game plan. I don't feel like Brett Venables pushed his staff to have a game plan for Michael Hawkins, because there's no way you see, like you said, in the second quarter, you see the way that Mateer was struggling. And I don't know what you saw that said he started off good. I just felt like he was never comfortable in this game. Warm-ups, he looked like he was trying to play
he definitely looked like
role.
there was some. I'll give you that. I think that he made a couple of plays in the first 2 series, though.
Yeah.
Like, that it was fine. But it was clear that when they started bringing pressure, that he certainly didn't have the – and look, no quarterbacks under pressure are as good as they are not under pressure, right? And there's definitely problems with the offensive line. You don't have a running game. That's a problem that I have with Arbuckle, just like anybody else does. And the offensive line's a big part of that. Something that I've been saying, you don't have a good tight end. I don't know why you're trying to run 12 personnel when you don't have the personnel to run it. You know what I mean? You don't have the people to run it. And if a successful run is going to hinge on whether or not this came from Teddy and Gabe is one of the best. Gabe Eicher is one of the best offensive linemen in Oklahoma history.
Yep.
So I mean, we're not talking about some chump just saying it. He was talking about it and saying, look, these run plays are hinging on one of these tight ends getting a key block against an SEC type of edge player or linebacker, and the shit ain't working. And so if it ain't going to work, then why are you even doing it? And to me, I'd love to see them spread it out, go to 5 wide, go true air raid at this point, because with this defense, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a chance to win every game.
And you got to think, man, even against Texas
to like 30 yards in the first half, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. And you know what? It's sad because the very thing that Alabama had to deal with last season is what you see Oklahoma dealing with in that game with Hurt Martyr. You got your defense that's going out there playing against not necessarily the best offense in the country, but talent. You got talent on that side. You give talent opportunities, it's going to bite you in the butt at some point in time during the game. It just happens. The natural of it, the natural happenings, the numbers and the average, the law of averages start to average out. And like I said, if Alabama had given up another wide open lead,
and they definitely had a better game plan in the second half than they did in the first half.
Yeah.
And and shout out to Sark in Texas for doing that. But look, it ended up being 30 minutes to 30 minutes basically on time. It was 29 and change and 30 and change on the time of possession. The first half, though, it was dominated by Oklahoma, which means the second half was dominated by Texas because you couldn't get your guy off the field because at that, I mean, obviously the offense had completely sputtered. At some point, if you're not willing to make that adjustment, that's a problem, man.
Facts. Facts. And you know what? That was the gripe against Kane Womack last season. Now, I defended Kane Womack. I said first year in the system, you can't go out there and be like, hey, we're going to flip from the 4-2-5. We're going to just go base 3-4. We're going to drop our curl hook depths from our overhangs to this, and then we want our corners to spot cloud 2 and then drop to 4, or we want to spot cloud 4 and carry through on man if you don't have a weak side element. Like all of these, you can't do that after practicing a certain thing for 3-4 days straight, and then come to game day, hey, let's change up the scheme. No. So this year, now you see Alabama able to switch up fronts, make adjustments in the front. You see the secondary making different shifts as far as our leverage when we get in certain formations. You're seeing the adjustments be able to be made because of continuity. Brett Venables doesn't have that excuse of not having players that don't understand his system anymore. Offensively, you might have some stutter there, but even Arbuckle came in and said a lot of the blocking scheme is not going to change. It's more so the concepts on the perimeter, how we run the ball to the perimeter. And we've seen that, but for the most part, the same issues we saw with the offensive line last year are still present this year for Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, there's multiple reasons why that you can point to about that, but the bottom line is it's a failure. It's a failure on the part. It's a failure on the part of a defensive-minded head coach to put an offense that can handle the shit. And at some point, you know what? It's almost the opposite of Lincoln Riley. DeBoer hoodie on. I've had this for a year before they started calling it the hoodie of death, so we understand. But that is funny, bro.
Hey, you might need to wear it, man. I ain't gonna lie.
This is anthracite, not black.
Hey, and that's fire. But I'm gonna tell you, I picked up something. So the game when I went to Vandy, I wore my black Alabama collar shirt with the black A on the left pocket, the left chest pocket. We handled that game. I mean, didn't blow them out, but we handled it. We won. Yeah. I was like, man, I might have picked up on something. You know, it might not be the jersey anymore. Say the jersey was for the Saban era. I got that jersey in 2010, 2009, 2010, and I've had that 15 jersey for the longest, right?
Right.
That black T-shirt though, I'm starting to feel it, man. It's starting to get this certain feel to it on Saturday mornings. You know, I've accidentally put it on the past 3 Saturdays, and we've been playing lights out. So it might be something with this black hoodie, black T-shirt, black. Do Bama need to bring out blackout jerseys, Chad? Huh? Do Alabama need to bring out?
Listen, let me ask you a question though. Wouldn't all the traditionalists just lose their shit over that?
What? You know, I guarantee you, my viewership would go up. I guarantee you, because I'll be the main one out here. I love it. Oh, you sorry, mother. You can't pay it. This isn't the Bama way. That's not the Bama standard. You're your new hip hop.
Oklahoma fans hate it. Oklahoma fans hate them doing anything but just their same stuff. Where they've got those Unity uniforms at the anthracite.
Mm-hmm.
They hate them. And they're really good cause. And honestly, the throwbacks that they did a few weeks ago against Kent State are awesome. They're just white helmets and red. I love them, but they hate them. There are fans that throw a shit fit every time.
Man, think about it. We have fans that get mad when we announce a black quarterback starting. Man, we get fans that trip out about that. So you know they really ain't trying to change the uniform. This new
and every time they've had different uniforms, I'd love to have the white helmet with the white uniforms. They won't do that. They don't want to do it. And when Baker was there, they had the they called them the Woodies because they had that wood grain in the OU. The wood grain.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I like even if we don't change the color, why can't we incorporate Veterans Day weekend? You know, or what's the other one? when they salute to the soldiers at the beginning of the season, like why haven't, like, I feel like that should be something that should be encouraged throughout college football. That's part of branding, and that's part of creating opportunities for your players. We talking about getting some parameters around NIL, where the best way to do it is for these kids to have multiple endorsement opportunities, but allow the schools to be the major endorsements that's paying out to these young men when they put on these uniforms. Every game you suit up in this, that's $150 on. I ain't saying that's what it is, but that's $150 for wearing the jersey and getting in the game and being on camera. That's $150. Collect your check. That's incentive to freaking go out and practice. Special teams guys, they stepped out on the field 3 times for the game on special teams with that new uniform on. They're gonna get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So I think that the uniform thing, but overall, man, looking forward, kind of get back on topic. Looking forward, Oklahoma has who does Oklahoma have this weekend?
So you're on the road at South Carolina Saturday, then you come back home to Ole Miss, then you've got Tennessee on the road.
Yep.
Then you have a bye, then you're at Tuscaloosa.
Jason,
you
have
to figure this out right now. And look, the problem that I feel with the whole conversation after the game has been Mateer's talking about I was good to go. I'm 100%. I'm good. I'm not hurting. Okay. Venables doesn't do anything to change it. That's what I was talking about the other night. And I mean, some people were definitely not believing and not buying into it. I really haven't seen any other Oklahoma creators that are really pushing this button. I'll be honest with you. I'm not. And that's a concern to me, because I feel like what you have to do is you need to be like, look, we know better, and you need to play you need to play everybody that is who's the most healthy guy and who's the best one to win a game with. And you know what? I don't know what the deal is with. I'm not saying that if he's healthy that Hawkins should start over him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if he ain't healthy, you need to play Hawkins, because he's not
That's
the same.
chance.
It's
That's
not
your
even that
chance,
he's
bro.
throwing. His confidence level ain't the same. It wasn't the same in the game. You didn't see that swagger. You didn't see that. That he was
what's happening, Jason?
throwing caution to the wind and getting after it.
We see what's happening, and the people that watch it from a broad base, they don't understand what's happening with the quarterback recruiting situation at Oklahoma. Why a lot of Oklahoma fans are worried as far as getting that next guy in the recruiting class, and this being more so of we're going to depend on portal QBs for the next few years. You've seen the portal guys come in and have success early season, but then look at Tommy Castellanos. Now that you got film on him in this new system, you get to force him back into some old habits, and that's why what's the name was able to beat them this past Pitt was able to beat them this past week. And it wasn't because they were the better team. They forced Castellanos into some of the similar bad habits that they saw from him when he was at Boston College and lost that job. So now, same thing is happening with Mateer. We saw him go crazy at Washington State last year. We saw Arbuckle's offense go crazy. Now you got him out here hurt. We can force him into some bad situations and some bad habits. He's going to lean on that just to stay on the field. It's a proven fact. You don't want to lose your
Crazy
job.
part is he got so sped up. If you think about that first interception, he threw it off his back foot, but
back foot for no reason and no strength with the ball.
No strength with the ball. He hits. If he throws it to the inside shoulder of Mateer, he makes the catch. He still threw it into double, triple coverage. If you throw it to the other hash mark, Satanga's in the end zone.
But he didn't have the grip. He didn't have the grip nor the strength to do it, man. And so
it's the same level throw. I mean, literally, they were at the same level.
Facts.
And he's streaking down there. I mean, he could have made that throw. He's wide open. You don't have to even throw a good ball there. You don't even have to throw a good ball. Nobody was on it.
So I like to do this when we come to this point in the season. You know, this mid-season point for both teams right now. Alabama's sitting at 5-1. And same thing with Oklahoma. Both teams 5-1. Would you agree with me in saying that right now, both turning on the film and resume, Alabama currently has the best one-loss resume right now in the country?
I think Alabama's the best team in the country.
You think Alabama? I wouldn't say that. I look at Miami play again this past weekend,
Maybe
bro.
Miami. Well, Miami and Ohio State are obviously undefeated and at the top, right?
Yeah.
I'm not buying Indiana yet. Not.
Me
I
neither.
don't care.
Me
I
neither.
don't care about beating Dan Lanning. Everybody beats Dan Lanning. I don't give a shit.
I do like the brand of football that they're winning with, though, Jason. If that can carry on against Oregon, they haven't changed their identity to be.
It's still Old Dominion to me, man. I don't know, man. I just
yeah.
Look, here's the deal. I think they're all suspect in the damn Big Ten. I really do. Aside from Ohio State and Michigan, if they get their shit together, but I think Michigan's got a young quarterback. I think they're a couple years away. You know what I'm saying? They're
next year they're competitive and actually winning the games.
I like Underwood a lot. I think he's really good, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I think that their defenses, they're going to continue doing things the way Michigan does things. So I think that works. But I still I don't believe that, all this. And here's the other thing. Doing it by padding your schedule like they do is not okay, man. And that doesn't make anybody believe in you anymore. And again, Dan Lanning loses these games. He's 0-3 against DeBoer. He had lost. I mean, the only one he's won is the Ryan Day game last year at home in the regular season. But then he got boat raced by their asses in the
Exactly.
Right? So he hasn't really won any big games. He hasn't even. The next biggest game would have been Utah, the time that he beat them. I don't know how great that is either. But in the end, I think that, look, we'll see what happens with those guys. But I'm just saying, I don't know that I trust past Ohio State right now. I don't trust the Big Ten. Now, the only thing about Miami is, Cristobal has been known to screw up a wet dream.
Hey, I got in a solid debate with.
They are lit up. They are loaded though. Their defense is stacked.
Exactly.
That D line, and look, Carson Beck's playing his ass off, and they're playing in the ACC. There's no reason why they shouldn't get there. But look, man, when you get into a game against somebody really good,
it changes. It changes.
I think that Alabama is. I know they're going to be better. I'm not sure about the rest of the.
I look at it, man, and I say Miami right now. And I had a very long conversation with a Miami former player. He played at Miami back in 2009, and just being a part of that alumni trail or that alumni pipeline. Just the conversations around what this team does on a week in and week out basis, and they said the same thing. Cristobal has been kind of forced to take his hands out of a lot of these. But these decisions that's being made in game, and we see what Miami is doing right now, coming to a big game with a coach and knowing that his job is on the line or his record, whatever is on the line. I don't think Cristobal allows those assistants or those coordinators to do their job. And if that's the case, and we get Cristobal, like you said, Jason, we might see another Cristobal moment for this good Miami team. To me, I think the most complete team right now is Miami, right now, in the country right now. Even Ohio State, as good as they've been playing, I don't think they're the most complete team. I don't think they've seen a defensive front that can really challenge their offense yet.
I mean, their defense, I think, is real good. I don't think it's as good as we heard from freaking Joe Klatt today.
Yeah, that was that guy.
What a dumbass. He getting on my nerves. But I don't think they're as good as on defense as he's saying they are, and I get it. They haven't played anybody worth a damn on offense, so I get it. But in the end, I do say, and I like Julian Sayin. I think Julian Sayin is legit. He's been out there doing it right. And then you got Jeremiah. Dude, Jeremiah's a bad dude.
He's the best wide receiver in the country. As a Bama fan, I'm saying it. There's no close question. I mean, you got the Corrigan Moore out there at at Oregon doing positive things. You got the big kid at Florida that's back now, Dallas Wilson. He's a
dog too. That kid is a baller, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. And so when I look at receivers,
and I'll say that Cam, at Auburn, our boy Cam, that dude is a bad dude too. Cam Coleman's a bad dude. It's a shame that he got Jackson and Hugh Freeze messing it all up for him. But
I hate it. I hate it for him being a kid from the city, from the hometown. I hate it for him. His family is diehard Auburn. They grew up Auburn, so he ain't going nowhere. I wish he just put that aside and come win a natty with Bama. Imagine Cam Coleman.
Oh, Lord,
that wouldn't even come on, man. Hey, we will really be on some debating type stuff in our chat
We'd be
for real.
pissed off
Because
as hell.
they'll
You
be
got the
mad
rest of the
because
country
of,
like, no.
you do think he's better than Ryan? Yes, I truly do. I think there
He's
are
better
maybe
than
three or
Ryan.
four receivers right now.
Here's the thing. I like Ryan
Yeah,
a
as
lot.
good as
They're
he-
different
I
body
do.
types. They're different kids. I think if you leave Ryan on the outside, I don't like him in the slot very much because he's not built like that.
He's not
To run
mentally.
over the middle like that. He's just not. He don't
Yeah.
like taking hits. And that's
Yeah.
okay. He's explosive if you keep him on the outside. But you 1-2 punch those guys. Oh shit.
Mm-mm.
But right now, Ryan is not the best receiver on the team today.
He's not. He's not. I said this before the season started. Wide receiver 3 is the perfect spot for him. The guy that should be the third most targeted guy, because when he touches the ball and you lessen the targets that you get for him, you could lose him in the game, right? You lose him. And then that moment, boom, you hit him 3 or 4 times and he done changed the game. He done gave you 2 scores on 4 touches. That's the type of player he is. But when he's got a focal point on him, he's not as explosive, and he's not. I look at our schedule, Jason. I look at Alabama's schedule, and we're going to do the same for you. We talked about yours just a little bit. You got Tennessee this weekend, then we have South Carolina
this weekend, then Ole Miss, then Tennessee, and South Carolina and Tennessee are on the road. Ole Miss is in Norman.
Yep.
Then you're after Tennessee on the road. Then you got the bye week. Then you go to Bama, and then you're home for the last 2 against Mizzou and LSU.
And that's what I was just about to say, man. You look at Oklahoma's schedule right now. If they play Mateer against, and we're talking about South Carolina, a team that's just looking to keep afloat right now. They got 3 losses right now. They could still make a push. They did the same thing to college football last year. Everybody thought they was done, and you look up at the end of the season, they are 3-loss team still. After their 3rd loss, they went like 6 weeks, 6 games in a row. They closed. As a matter of fact, after the loss to Alabama, they closed the season out with 6 wins in a row. So this year, do they have the countenance to possibly make a push this year? At Columbia, anything could happen when you get on the road in the SEC. If Mateer goes into this game, that might be a bad setting for the rest of the season. If I had to right now, if they're going to play Mateer hurt right now, I got South Carolina, and we're talking about at South Carolina, like you said, versus Ole Miss at home, 2 games on the road back to back at Tennessee, at Alabama, hosting Missouri and LSU. With a hurt Mateer, you're not beating Missouri with that defense, that Missouri defense, and their offense can score. And then Alabama, you got to get on the road at Alabama. You got to get on the road
the
at
one
Tennessee.
thing that's going to keep you in every game is that defense, but you got to score points.
I don't think Oklahoma's defense can shut out Alabama at home. I don't think they could disrupt Tennessee at home. Now, if Tennessee was in Norman,
they can disrupt Tennessee, but I don't know that you just without scoring some points, you're not beating Alabama. There's no way.
Tennessee too. That boy is averaging almost 300 yards a
points
game
for both of them. And here's the thing, but Tennessee's, we're about to find out a lot about their defense, and their secondary is not good.
Never been. They weren't good last year. Their front was the NRBR for them.
Their best secondary guys are out though.
Boot Carter, is he out? He out this game too?
He's been out.
I think he's.
I don't know if he's out this game or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But I got.
It like they were talking about he was going to be out all year.
If I had to predict your finishing, Oklahoma's finished this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 1, 2.
He played. Boot Carter played. He played
4-2. 4-2 to finish the season off, and your losses are coming at Alabama for sure. And I think you might drop two back to back. Alabama and Missouri coming in after a big game against Alabama. It's a afternoon game already. They've got the time for it. Missouri is not a
Missouri's not
pushover
coming
team.
to the house. Missouri's not going to come to the house and go.
Okay,
bro.
Okay. With the way
they owe them one big. Well, here's what I'll say though. I'm not going to put. Here's what I'm going to say. If they're not going to play better offense, I'm not going to put anything past anybody, and that includes this weekend. If they're not going to do something, look, it's one thing to play Mateer and do all that. There's some other problems. Like I said, you can't be running 12 personnel without tight ends to run 12 personnel and expect it to work. You can't do it. You better off spreading them out and using all these receivers that you got because they got a bunch of them. So use them. Stop doing things that because you want to run your system. You know what I mean? No. Go out there and put the guys that you have on this roster, put them in a good position to succeed. This is what the best coaches do. And if Arbuckle is really one of those guys, like we continue to hear, then you will go out there and you will use the guys that you have at your disposal the way they need to be used. Aside from that, play guys that are healthy. And look, I get it that Mateer is his guy. I've heard it all about it. I know Mateer is his guy. Listen, your team is what's important.
Facts, not your guy.
Right.
We having a similar issue with that with Alabama right now. A lot of fans don't know it, but I've paid attention to it and I've seen something, especially in our secondary. There are two defensive backs right now that are getting a lot of burn because of their veteran presence, but don't deserve it. They've been the consistent problem in our secondary. But then you got some young guys or some transfer guys that need that opportunity, and we have yet to see it because you go do the research. And if I was a parent or an advisor and a consultant, and I was able to find this public information about who recruited who and how long they've been recruiting, I would easily tie one and one together and then be looking for my player, the player that I'm representing, for his next best opportunity because of what's being put on the field. Yes, we're winning right now. It's a one-loss team, but we can be even more dominant one-loss team if you have the right personnel on field instead of letting these guys continue to go out and make the same mistakes week in and week out, especially when their film has shown the history of this. Damani Jackson right now, the way he's playing, that's USC with Damani Jackson showing up for Bama right now, and we can't have it. Not in this defense. And then with Deshaun Jones,
continue getting better. And I would say the same about Ty. There were some shots that he was taking that he didn't need to take last week. There were shots that he could have like kept the drive going with some short passes that were wide ass open.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you need to, and everybody's got to get better. This is what real good championship football teams do. They get
better week in and week out. Week to week. They get better.
They fix their little problems, you know?
Yep. And that's what I like about this year's Alabama team. You can't turn this film on from week 1 and then turn it on week 7 and say, oh, they still struggling with this. Ty Simpson missed on taking some opportunities week 1. Now we need you not to take some of these throws. Like find that good median, because now you and he has reason to be confident in his arm the way he has been. He's seeing the field good. I think a couple of those hesitant passes are the ones where we see his downfall or his struggle. But if you're getting that, 10% of the game and the rest of the 90% of the game, you're just getting a Heisman QB, first round NFL draft pick. You're living with it and expect. And I think Ty's been doing a great job getting better. So
yes. Listen, I'm not. He's the best quarterback in the country right now.
100%.
No two ways around it. But I'm saying, if you can't get stale and stop getting better from week to week, you can't.
Facts.
Because the longer this thing goes, the better everybody's going to get. You know that and I think that this is a wide open league. I really do. I think Bama's the best team right now. I think that you got to, but we've seen if you step off the gas a little bit, what can happen? You know what I mean?
Facts. And I don't think Alabama's been stepping off the gas.
Everything for OU either. It doesn't. But what are you going to do with this loss? Are you going to fix things from it? Are you going to adjust, or are we not going to adjust? Because I'm not positive that they adjust is my concern. That's the problem.
And that's going to be the issue going out. I have seen Alabama adjusting week in and week out, and I truly believe that's the DNA of the program. But overall, Jason, we're going to go ahead and close this thing out. I got 4-2 Oklahoma to finish the season out. If they continue,
that might get you in the playoffs, though.
Hey, depending if y'all, I don't know, man. I think LSU might be one of them games too at the end of the year. They're just because it's the end of the year, and they might be fighting for it.
With that schedule, 9-3 with that schedule should put you in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. If they get in the playoffs, nobody's gonna want to see this Oklahoma team with this defense. You know that.
Not with the defense, but
they won't be in the playoffs if their offense doesn't get better. If they don't do some stuff offensively, they're not gonna get there.
Facts. South Carolina is still a trap game for me. Being in Columbia is different.
Listen. They better play very well. Don't go over there messing around with that shit. And if
They-
you do, you get what you get. If they lose that, I'm telling you that this game this weekend it's the most important game they will have. Because if you lose this one, there ain't no way you're getting through the rest of it with just one. There ain't no way.
Because if South Carolina came on the road to Norman, we're not talking about if they lose, you know. But you're going to South Carolina and playing against a inconsistent. I ain't gonna say a bad team, an inconsistent South Carolina team.
Not very good.
And
though.
if you're the reason why
you should win. This is a game you should win.
If your team, if you playing them is the reason why they flip on a switch, that's not going to look good for you going out of this season. Your recruit and I you know I love recruiting. Oklahoma has to find their future at quarterback. Brett Venables is not managing the quarterback, the transfer portal quarterback situation very well. He's not managing. You got Jackson Arnold, and that was a bad scouting job, right? You see how that developed. You had Michael Hawkins on the roster for another year, and you had an opportunity to kind of instill some confidence in him that he has a chance to be a part of your future. And I don't think he's a part of their future right now, not with Arbuckle there. So is Arbuckle a one and done situation? And that's going to affect your recruiting too. So Oklahoma got to figure it out, like you said, this week. Alabama on the other side of things, though, we got a tough Tennessee team coming in. I think they're going to come in and try to be physical. I think they're going to try to be hurry up offense, but we're going to use that home field advantage this year. And I don't think right now, if you would have caught us 4 weeks ago with some of the questions we had, Tennessee, I'd be a little bit more worried. But I've seen enough from Georgia game to Vandy game to Missouri game to say that the in-game adjustments that we need to see week in and week out, Alabama has been the most consistent team in the country, probably behind. And believe it or not, Texas A&M.
They look better.
Texas A&M has been making quality adjustments week in and week out and been winning their games. So
man, I didn't realize they haven't given up hardly any third and fourth downs. They've been great on third and fourth down.
Third down team. Best third down team for the past 4 weeks. The month of September, they were the best team on third downs defensively, and they had one of the top 10 conversion rates on third down. So that's what's making them a solid team. And I mean, look at the competition that they played the first 5 weeks. They got a Notre Dame win. That was huge. But they doing this. They beating teams the same way. They're not having to change. And that's what I'm saying. We're at the point of the season where every team's identity is kind of established, right? You know what you're getting from majority of the game.
One thing you got to remember, though, don't forget, A&M has this problem. The bottom can still drop out of their ass. You know it can.
I don't know.
They've been doing it since the 40s,
like,
bro. They've been doing it since the 40s. That's all
I feel like Mike Elko has a bead on this team.
I'm not talking about their coach. I'm talking about the culture there. It's hard to fix that.
I'm talking about this group of guys. I don't think they're going to be a threat the same way next year. I don't even think they were what they are this year, last year. I don't think they're that this year. This roster, this team right now plays different from any Texas A&M team I've ever seen. And we're talking about a Mike Evans, Johnny Manziel type roster where they had talent on both sides in different spots. They have the same thing for A&M right now. It's just a different approach, a different mentality with this team.
Oh, they don't.
And
have,
you're really going to have to get in and just rep
for no reason, bro. They don't.
All right, we'll see. I say this.
I'm just saying. I need to see them.
I
need to see them finish it out. I need to see them finish it.
I think Texas A&M is a solid 9-3, 10-2 team. Look at the schedule. Let's before we close out, I just want to talk about their schedule because they don't.
They certainly have a
favorable schedule,
favorable, much favorable. Yes, no doubt.
You talking about they going to Arkansas? That could be tricky. A lot of people ranking Arkansas, but if you didn't watch Arkansas Tennessee game, you probably think it was two bad teams playing. But no, Arkansas showed up and played that game.
Petrino put his offenses in a position to win. I don't know why he wasn't seeming to do that before they fired his boy, but
I don't know, but it looks different now. They look like they want to play for him. But anyway, then you got A&M. They go to Death Valley. That's going to be a night game. That could be one that could push them to the edge. But I don't believe in LSU at all. I don't believe in LSU at all. The defense might look good against trash teams, but they don't look good against good teams as a whole. Missouri, they
got away with one this week, didn't they?
LSU? Yeah. LSU not looking good at all, man. LSU not looking good at all. The fans are
hurt. Nuss is hurt.
He's been hurt. He came into the season after that Clemson game. He was hurt. You know, and against South Carolina just doesn't have a consistent offense. That's who they hosted South Carolina.
They're just not good.
But LSU got Vandy this weekend. I think they lose that game. At Vandy,
I do too. I think Vandy's one of the best teams in the conference too. I still think they are.
And Vandy probably number 4 or number 5 team in the conference right now. I get that to them. That's above. I put Vandy above Georgia. I think if Vandy and Georgia played this year, Vandy beats Georgia easily. 8-12 point game tight like that.
They might.
Yep. But chat, we're not gonna hold y'all up. I've been trying to be solid. Y'all could catch me and Jason probably Friday. We're gonna start this. We're gonna start getting some more content together. Again, y'all, this is college football, man. Week 8, the lineup, Jason, the lineup for the games this weekend, bro. This is exciting. This is another sit like this chair. I told y'all, man, I want to keep this chair. It's a raggedy chair, y'all. I got to think. I want to keep this chair till all of this has fallen off. By the time we get to like 20K subscribers, all this should have fallen off. All of this, the armrest is already gone. This armrest about gone. I'm gonna keep this chair, but this is one of those weekends where this chair gonna get a lot of playing time. It's gonna get a lot of activity this weekend. I'm talking about Miami, Louisville Friday night. That's gonna be a good one. A lot of people sleeping on Louisville, and then start the weekend off early day SEC ball, LSU Vanderbilt, 11 noon kickoff. You got A&M in Arkansas, 2:30 Ole Miss, Georgia, Kentucky, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, Oklahoma. You got Texas Tech and Arizona State. That should be interesting. Is somebody finally going to show like make Texas Tech look like they make the wrong decision spending all that money in the portal? Nobody been able to do it yet. Them jokers, they made some.
Oh, they're playing. They're playing.
And then Washington State, after playing Ole Miss as close as they did, they going against a tough Virginia team. You know, that's going to be interesting to watch that one. Notre Dame, USC, just the dames and the brands themselves. USC going against Michigan, getting that big dub last weekend. Auburn, Missouri. Is Missouri going to bounce back after an emotional loss at home to Bama and going into Jordan Hare? Do they play mad? And then the end of the night, Utah, BYU. Let's see Utah expose BYU. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like Utah gets to expose BYU and all the hype around them like they do every year. Let's see Utah in the Bloods and Crips matchup. Utah, BYU. Yeah, call that the Bloods and Crips. You got all red and all blue on one side. But, yeah, we're going to see this. It's a crazy lineup for this weekend, man. So I'm excited about it. Again, Jason, appreciate you coming on, bro. And AAA family, thank y'all for tapping in the chat, man. Continue to support all the Sooner, the Hall of Fame fam over there. Thank y'all for tapping in and joining the dialogue, man. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of dialogue to close out the season. Playoffs, rankings, first playoff rankings this week, right? First playoff rankings released this week. So
this week?
I think so. Week 8. It's week 8. Yeah, week 8. First playoff rankings will be released this week. So it's going. Hey, Monday. I think they releasing every Monday, right? Playoff rankings. So we're gonna see y'all. We're gonna see
every Monday night. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a interesting time. Yeah. But appreciate y'all for tapping in. And again, y'all,
thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate you.
For sure, always. And y'all know how to tag in and go tap in with Jason. We all family here. But when you see me in the streets, you better holler at me and say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook." And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Shout out to my brother Jason again. Shout out to the Sooner family. And we're going to get out of here for y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed one and enjoy the rest of y'all night. Y'all be blessed, man.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook."
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.